Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are piecing together a story that was literally buried in the sands of Egypt for almost 100 years. We're talking about a massive pharaoh, two huge discoveries 96 years apart, and one incredible stroke of archaeological luck. So let's just think about this for a second. How do you even begin to solve a puzzle that's been waiting in the dirt for nearly a century? This is way more than just digging up some old artifact. This is a true archaeological detective story, one that connects a German explorer from 1930 with a brand new Egyptian-American team working today. And the latest chapter in this story just kicked off in 2024. Archaeologists were working in central Egypt, about 150 miles south of Cairo, when they came across this huge stone lying face down. And as they started clearing away all that dirt, a face began to appear. And right then, they knew this was something really, really special. Yeah, this was not just some random rock. The team was digging at a site called El Ashmunein, and what they'd found was an enormous, beautifully carved block. Just the sheer size of it and the amazing quality of the carving told them right away that this was a major royal find. I mean, just look at the details here. The piece itself is gigantic. We're talking over 12 feet tall. It shows the pharaoh wearing that iconic double crown, the one that represents Upper and Lower Egypt combined. And he's got the royal cobra on his headdress. Every single detail was basically a billboard pointing to one of Egypt's greatest rulers, Ramesses II. Now, here's where it gets really cool. This incredible discovery, it wasn't actually the beginning of the story. It was the middle. The team had, completely by accident, stumbled upon the missing piece to a puzzle that was almost 100 years old. So to get the full picture, you have to rewind all the way back to 1930. That's when another archaeologist, a German guy named Günther Roeder, found the bottom half of this exact same statue, the throne and the king's legs. For almost a century, that's all they had. The top half was just gone, lost somewhere under all that sand. And when you see it laid out like this, it's pretty wild, right? You've got one team that finds the base, and then, nearly 100 years later, a totally different team finds the head. It's like the perfect archaeological reunion, separated by decades, but connected by stone. So who was this incredible king? And why was his giant statue in this specific spot? Well, to understand that, we need to talk a little bit about Ramesses II and the city where he was found. Look, Ramesses II wasn't just any pharaoh. He was Ramesses the Great. This guy ruled for over 60 years, right at the peak of Egypt's power, and he left behind more temples, more statues, and more monuments than pretty much any other ruler. He was an absolute master of royal propaganda. And the statue was found in a place that used to be called Hermopolis Magna. This was a hugely important city, the main center for the worship of Thoth, the god of wisdom. A powerful, influential city like this was the perfect stage for a king like Ramesses to show off with a monument this massive. But here's the kicker. The team, they weren't even looking for it. Their discovery was just a moment of pure, dumb luck. They were actually focused on a totally different part of the temple complex. I love this quote from the project's co-director, Ivona Chernica-Amrine. She basically says, look, we knew the bottom half was found somewhere around here decades ago, but finding the top, it was a complete and total surprise that just popped up during routine digging. A genuine aha moment. Okay, so they found both halves. Now what? What does it actually take to reunite a 3,200-year-old pharaoh who's been in two pieces for centuries? First, let's just take a second to appreciate the incredible scale here. Once they put it all back together, the complete statue is going to stand about 7 meters tall. That's roughly 23 feet. We're talking the height of a 2-story building. This was a true colossus, built to absolutely awe anyone who laid eyes on it. But before anyone could start celebrating, the team had a really serious worry. I mean, being so close to the Nile River, that fragment could have been severely damaged after spending almost a century buried in damp soil. Yeah, the big problem is the water table. It's risen a lot since the Aswan Low Dam was built. And groundwater can seep into limestone, and over time, it can just turn it into, sand. The team was genuinely worried they'd just find what they called a lump of rock. But somehow, amazingly, the statue's intricate carvings totally survived. So the game plan now is this very careful step-by-step process. First, experts have to clean and stabilize the ancient stone. Then they submit a formal plan to the authorities to get the official green light. And finally, after 96 years apart, the two halves will be brought together again. For the archaeologists on the ground, this incredible find is so much more than just one cool statue. Even though they weren't even looking for it, finding it confirms that this whole area of the temple is just packed with history. It's a sign that they are digging in exactly the right place to uncover even more secrets. And really, that's what makes this whole story so thrilling. It's just this powerful reminder that even in a place like Egypt, which has been explored for so long, history is still waiting right below the surface. This 96-year-old mystery is solved, but it really makes you wonder, what other secrets are still out there, just waiting for their moment to be found?